A much requested topic, latte millionaires. We're going to talk about latte millionaire ideology, and let me explain what that is. This is an idea that arguably started with financial author David Bach, although it's sort of debated, and many people, I think Susie Orman and others have talked about it. And the idea is basically as follows. All of those little purchases, like $5 lattes, add up. And if you go through life avoiding those little purchases and you invest the money, you'll end up a millionaire before you know it because you're putting the money into tax advantaged accounts at interest and you earn compound interest. And all that is standing between you and being a millionaire is a $5 latte on the way to work every single day. Make coffee at home, put the $5 into a Roth IRA. And the model is $5 a day for 50 years at 8% return, and you come out with over $1 million. Now, does that work? It does. I'm using the Intuit investment calculator. You start with $5, you spend 50 years accumulating, you expect to earn 8% a year, and you add $35 a week, which is seven $5 lattes. And the next thing you know, you have $1.2 million 50 years from now, 1.1 million of which is growth. You've only contributed $91,000. Now, you can take issue with some of the numbers here. You could say, well, you're not accounting for inflation. You're not accurately, the cost of a latte is not actually $5. 50 years is too long. And not everybody is doing this every single day for 50 years from 25 to 75. I don't know that you can really expect an 8% return. And I think those are all completely reasonable critiques. But these are the numbers that many people use. What I think is good about this thesis is that it does wake people up to the importance of compound interest and investing early. And we did a segment entirely on compound interest, and you saw the numbers. You don't need much money as long as you give it plenty of time to become very valuable. Early invested dollars become very valuable at interest, at compound interest for a long time. The downside to this is that it does unrealistically imply that everybody who gets a few coffees isn't wealthy because they're buying coffee. And that starts to get more into the political realm, which we cover on the David Pakman show, and about some of the realities of stagnant salaries and all sorts of different things. The reality is that people are struggling not because of $5 lattes, generally speaking, but because of the high cost of housing, healthcare, and education. You could be in poverty and saving $5 a day for retirement, but it won't actually help you now because you're not touching the retirement money for decades anyway. And so you should be saving, you should be investing. It is not really a good idea to be in the mindset that you can't get any $5 lattes here and there, or that that's uniquely what's going to hold you back from being a millionaire. And enjoying your life and having a quality of life that is what you want it to be has significant value that you could assign a dollar amount to as well. The important thing is with the big chunks of your budget, understand whether there's opportunities to save on housing, what's going on with groceries, what kind of a car are you driving, etc. The other aspect to this is most people aren't actually doing it every day for 50 years. And a lot of people, it's 5 days a week when you go to work. And, when you start doing that, you go from contributing 35 a week to 25 a week. That chops off already like a third of it. And realistically, I don't know who's talking about an 8% rate of return. It's probably more like 7 is realistic. That chops off another quarter. And then most people aren't going to have that routine for 50 years. It may be more realistically, 35 years. And that chops off even more. And very quickly, the numbers just completely fall apart. So understand the math of it, understand the importance of compound interest, but don't fall into these mentalities that are completely divorced from the reality that for most people, it's not a couple of lattes, it's overpriced housing, it's having to live far from work and significant commute costs because housing is so expensive, et cetera, et cetera.